I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. We got a full house tonight, and we got some fun shit going on, man.
Yeah.
In the sports world. It's nice to actually be able to talk about some shit.
I'm about to break this mic. This is about to happen.
Yeah, I think we need some new mic stands or something.
Yeah, this is about to go down. That, microphones, whatever. So, whoever's listening, go ahead and send me money.
Send money.
Send money
Sports.
ASAP.
No
ASAP.
shit. We'll do that. Man, all right. We got NBA playoff shit. We got some NFL stuff to talk about. But where do you want to start, guys?
Dude, I think we start with a huge-ass contract that Jalen Hurts got.
He got paid.
Got paid coming off ankle surgery, if y'all didn't know. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You think about this. If you go and look at his manager, African-American woman, messaged him years ago before the draft night on Instagram asking to be his manager or whatever. And here they are signing one of the largest deals ever. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Technically the largest deal, right?
Yeah,
today.
As of right now.
Of right now.
A lot of quarterbacks coming up, but yeah, as of right now, largest deal ever. But so pretty cool deal there for sports world, females being involved as well. So
is it justifiable?
Absolutely.
He was an MVP candidate up until he got injured, and then they started preserving him for the playoff run, right? Has he? The reason why I ask is, if it is, then why isn't Lamar paid? To this point,
100%, man.
This just set the bar even higher for the negotiations or lack thereof between the Ravens and. So that's the reason why I ask. At one point, Lamar, highest rushing quarterback of all time. Actually, I didn't see the exact stat, the exact line Ben Roethlisberger dropped. I don't know if you guys heard about that. He was talking about Lamar Jackson, right? And
was that the one who said you don't fear him stepping back in the pocket? And
right.
Yeah.
But he actually has a way better QBR in the pocket than Ben Roethlisberger, I think, ever had.
Yeah, I saw those stats too, along with what he said.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm critical of his passing because he's a one-read guy. So that's where mine is. It isn't that he's not accurate when he does throw the ball. That isn't what my thing is. He can't have a number one receiver. He already does have a number one receiver. It's his tight end. Mm-hmm. He can't. There's no reason to even have a number two because he doesn't make a second read. His second read is run, scramble, right?
Right.
At least I'm saying in my opinion. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I thought this was a little high. I mean, he had, don't get me wrong. He still had another year. Right? Like, you could have negotiated this a little more next year. He made a massive jump from, from the year before.
I think they want to get it done. You look at the guys already for either extensions, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes,
Joey B.
Guys, Joey Burrow, Herbert's going to get his. I mean, so the price tag is only going to go like this. And I think they're smart to get it, right here. Okay, boom, here's a guy. He should have jumped. Boom, let's do it.
That's what
I think is good.
I think they had to, too. I'm just trying to play a little bit of, contrarian here. I think it was a good deal. I think they needed to. I think he's an awesome leader, and he's went through adversity throughout his college. It wasn't just like he's been the man every time. I mean, he was, but then he wasn't. Alabama, and then he went to Oklahoma, reset himself, learned how to become a little bit better of a passer, and then and he's showing improvement every year that he has stepped on the field for him. So that, to me, that's it is ideal to. Yeah. And then these guys are only. So my next question to you, gentlemen, is who's breaking that? Because you guys just touched on about 3-4 quarterbacks right there. Who is for sure breaking that without a doubt? Because the other ones you might touch right up to the number. Some may give a team friendly deal. Which one, no matter what, is going to break the $255 million? There's only one person that makes more than him, and that's in guaranteed money, and that's Deshaun.
I mean, I think all of them will eventually, but I think Lamar's got to be the next one going to do it. I think a deal will get done. I think the team is kind of going like, here, because the big deal was guaranteed money, right? He wanted full guaranteed and all this kind of thing. I think Ravens are almost playing hardball, like, hey, here's the deal. If somebody wanted to give you the guaranteed money, they would have offered up the 2 draft first rounders, right? They would have done it. Nobody's going to give you that. So here is a reasonable deal. Boom. And it'll be more than Jalen Hurts because they realize he is their team, right?
Okay.
So I do think it will be Lamar.
What you got?
Yeah, Lamar will be one, whether it's with the Ravens or not. But I think Joey B gets more, and I think Herbert's going to get more as well. So very soon, he's the 4th, 5th highest paid player. You know what I mean, in the NFL. Versus
You think all those guys are passing that number?
Yeah. I think the number's only going to go up.
I think the number's going to go up. I actually don't think Herbert's going to pass that number.
I got one guy there, and that's Trevor Lawrence.
What the hell?
You're not doing this whole episode. Fuck off.
You sound like you should wear a helmet and wear a mouth guard.
I know. I really messed up. Damn it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, the one listener we have from Great Britain's like this piece of shit.
Hello, mate.
Whatever. He's like, he's a bomb. Hell yeah.
Well, here I was thinking
Well,
saying
hell,
they're playing
mate.
hardball. I was like, did you just drop a pun and we didn't know it? Did anybody else catch that? He's like, I think the Ravens are going to play hardball.
Oh,
The coach.
No,
Yeah.
you got it though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
You did
Set
that.
is that? I thought it was just. I wasn't trying to make fun of his speech impediment.
Oh.
Way to call it out there,
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah, you and your British accent. Boy, hell, mate. We'll wrap it up.
Johnny.
All right, who was the third one that you said that was?
I went.
What's that?
Nobody's going to touch
He
on
said
Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. I think
That's
that one.
interesting one.
That one I think, but that's what? That's probably
A
2
year
years
out.
away.
A year
They
out.
can start negotiating next year, I think.
After they win the AFC Championship, he's going to demand it.
You're damn straight. Future Hall of Famer. Danny's coming around. He can't even. I don't even see him being smart. His smart ass look that he gives me. He saw a little bit of growth, right?
Yeah, the
and
coaching
Dougie
was
P,
huge, man.
Yeah, and Dougie P is huge. Speaking of which, he was at the USFL game backing his son up. That's kind of cool. Like watching him in the stands.
Hell yeah.
I think his son plays like tight end or something like that. I think for the Gamblers. But the more I think about it, I don't know. I think Burrow wants to make sure his weapons are taken care of. I don't know if he's going to go much higher than that.
There's already reports out there of it, though.
Is it signed?
No.
Okay. There's reports all the time. Did you guys see the one where Aaron Rodgers literally chews up Adam Schefter? He's like, and then he's like,
yeah.
My text back to him was nice try, and then Adam comes on like later on his own Instagram or Twitter, and he's like, that's actually exactly what he said, and he sent a screenshot of the text message. It was actually pretty funny, but
What's the bigger
Reports.
deal though? The $200 million guaranteed, or the overall contract? Like, what are we looking at?
for him, it's $200 million. Lamar.
No, but I just mean with these guys that we're talking about, are we comparing the overall contract or the guaranteed money that they're looking at? Because it could be smaller overall, but more guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's where my loophole is going to be, so I'm going to leave it there. So I can go either which way.
Hedging your bets
I
here,
can't be wrong if I go one way or the other.
All right.
You're not gonna see a fully guaranteed contract like Deshaun's again, where it was $230, unless something collective bargaining happens the next time around, right? I think we all understand that. I mean, the ownership, all the owners were pissed about that when that happened, right? Not just about him not being able to truly be fined and punished the proper way, but the fact that you gave that much money for years and guaranteed. Like, yes, you gave Kirk guaranteed the whole amount when he came over, right? But it's for 3 years. You know what I mean? You didn't do it for 7 years, whatever, lock it up for $230-something million. You know?
Right.
So I think I'm going to stick with my loophole here. I'm going to win either way.
It's a big deal. They're going to be in good shape for a few years at least, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when the wheels maybe start to fall off and you start losing pieces and see what what happens over there.
Yeah, because I think they're still just like just like every other rookie deal that gets signed at, or deal after the rookie deal. I think it was 2 more years under his current one at his average salary. I think he had some version of signing bonuses, but it broke down as like year by year. I think it's only like 6 or 7 mil the next 2 years, and then it jumps up, and it's still not that much for a cap hit. However way, it's some Howie Roseman type of shit, right?
Yeah, but the annual isn't that crazy because what was the guaranteed up front was like 100 right then, like 100 mil signing, right? And then the other 100, I can't remember when that comes, if it's like next season or when that is, but it's like basically 2 huge chunks versus like the salary or whatever. So I don't know, man.
That Lamar one, if it is true, if the reports are true, I can't just beat him up for saying that and then believe it when I saw it myself on the one. But if $200 million was the offer and it's guaranteed, you would take that if you're Lamar, right? Especially the way you play football.
Yeah, 200 mil is a lot closer than what we heard.
I mean,
originally.
fully guaranteed. You don't need to reset the market on this one. You're $200 million guaranteed, and you can still play the same way that you play. Right. I mean, he make plenty of money in endorsements and stuff. Is my point.
That's why he's got to have an agent, right? I feel like he's doing himself a disservice with this whole thing, doing it himself.
I know. I think somebody in his ear would be like, "Hey, man, this is a smart way to play this and this. Set yourself up, your family up. Not only because you're one. I mean, look at the guys working on the off season. You tear your ACL or something. I mean, out another year, out money.
Yep.
What if you never can return to that form of how you play the game? Right. Because let's face it, as guys who watch football all the time, say we're doing all the players are available for a draft, and you're starting a new team, right? Are you picking Lamar Jackson as one of your top 3 picks as your quarterback, as your first quarterback?
No,
I'm not.
No.
You? No.
Miles?
No, exactly. And that's the thing. You can't. And in some instances, I do agree. If the game's online that you need a touchdown, like I agree, he can go down and get us in Justin Tucker's range, right?
Which, is there
100%.
what? Yeah. Do we even know what the range is?
Exactly. He can do that, but am I?
We need a
scared,
touchdown.
right? We need a touchdown. You can take me down the field and score a touchdown right now, guaranteed. Am I 100% positive? No, I'm not really positive that he can do that.
I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to build off exactly what you just said there, and I'm going to say I don't trust that he can go do that. That team has been built kind of like the Titans. They're built similar in the sense that they're not a team that is built to come from behind.
I was going to say, I think
They're
somebody
front runners,
has said that, yeah.
So I don't believe he can be that quarterback. Do I believe Joe Burrow can? Fuck yeah.
Right, yeah.
Do I think Herbert can? Yep. I do believe that. Patrick Mahomes, do I believe? Absolutely. Proven it time and time again.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Lamar has not proven that.
Yes.
Like when he dominates a game, that game can look stupid, ridiculous. Absolutely awesome. Well, crunch time, guess what? The other team has been swinging, and they're actually ahead. We need you to go down and get this.
Right.
We don't need you to get within 65 yards for a field goal because that shouldn't even be reasonable. That shouldn't even be a thought process. That we need you to get to 65.
We need you to get 25 yards so your kicker can have a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why this could end up biting Baltimore in the ass, though, too. Let's say he takes a franchise for a year. Maybe they do it again next year. By then, if they say we want to pay you top 10, not top 3 quarterback money, it'll be more than what he's asking for now. You know what I mean? Potentially. Mm-hmm. So it's a weird predicament that they're in overall, dude. I don't know.
Yes and no. I mean, Dak's about to sign another extension. He's going to get more money, right? I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the same thing here another year, right? They're just going to get more money. And I think no matter what, you're kind of glued. If you have one of the top quarterbacks, he's going to get paid and the number's going to go up. So I don't think it's the aspect of what the number is. It's just when he'll sign it. It's the number's going to be big, no matter if it's now or if it's 3 years from now or 2 years from now. If you have one of the premier quarterbacks, and
it's still a percentage of the cap space, regardless. Right?
Regardless, it's going to be massive, right? And like I said, those guys like Dak, right? He just signed a big extension 2 years ago. He's about to get another one. Roll salary cap down, and it's just kind of how the game and the cap goes these days, especially when you have one of those top tier, and I would say Lamar is a top tier quarterback, definitely probably top 8. So it's like, yeah, He's gonna get paid. It's just when.
You should try to just do it ASAP.
Do it
actually, because you're gonna, if you believe he's the guy. If not, then
Right.
you're just like, hey, appreciate everything you've done. Best of luck.
Right.
No hard feelings.
You would think
Let's
you'd
move
want to
on.
get it, but at the end of the day, I think it's just. I think Baltimore's like, hey, I don't care when we do it. If he's wanting to be like this, let him be like it. Whatever.
Right. And it is hurting him. He needs a. You should be having representation with this.
You should.
Because you're putting your own feelings into it. That's the reason why you need that middle guy. Like, I understand you're trying to save a few million
Or somebody that can
dollars.
talk it like some sense. Like, hey, man, yeah, you're taking less, but you're setting yourself up to get paid for this many years, for this long. Like, that is financial stability for the next. Because, like I said, what if he plays a game where he runs the ball? That is his number one threat. What if he tears his ACL working out tomorrow, right? And he hasn't signed it. Okay, you're kind of shit out of luck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what if he never returns to form? How many running backs have we seen do that? Tear an ACL, never look the same. I know everybody's not AP, right?
Yeah.
So nothing is guaranteed. So you've got to get somebody else in there that can talk the sense into you and what's a legitimate offer to accept.
Especially if this 200 mil is legit.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Especially,
That-
yeah.
Like, I think that would
agree,
have been
man.
open shut if it is.
right.
What do you got, Miles? You're over there mumbling about something.
Probably thinking about a bet he's got going on.
They hit, but I didn't place it.
Man,
No.
good for you. Good for you, Miles.
Every bet hits. When
No,
you don't place
no.
it.
So this was messed up. That's not where I wanted to go. But today I walk in the locker room and some guy was bragging about how he bet on the Iowa's girls. First bet of his life. Bet like $450, won $3,000 on who they beat, the powerhouse.
South Carolina.
Yes. So he put 450 on them, won $3,000. I was like, well, why don't you be a man? I got a team from Israel right now down by 7 points and they're plus 750. You put that $3,000 on this baby. Let's go. Well, I was gonna put money on it. Forgot about it for the next 10 minutes. Walk out to the car and they hit. I was so pissed. I wouldn't have done it though. I like the odds. No, I wanted to get to you about the kicker. If they get it halfway, he doesn't deserve that. Danny, who's that sound like?
I'm not sure where you're going.
Russell Wilson. When they kick the field goal,
Yeah.
but you pay him all that money and you don't at least attempt it.
And you try the 65-yard field goal or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's different when you got Justin Tucker doing it. I give you
when
that.
you have the best field goal kicker in history, you're taking that shot, right?
But
Right, you'll take the shot.
Yeah.
I just mean you shouldn't be paying a quarterback to
Right.
get only.
Yeah.
Only get that should be a chip shot if you're paying a top tier quarterback, right?
and that's all I can think of.
Same thing with Russell, which we'll find out when he balls out this year and they go 13-3, and then Danny has to.
Hopefully,
eat his words.
Broncos country, you've seen how it's going to ride this year. You've seen him
Right.
wreck his golf cart.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so
Oh,
good.
man.
Let's go.
I see
It's a train wreck.
It was like, it was on a golf course somewhere. He had wrecked, and I don't know if he drove into a bunker, but it was flipped over on his side. And it's like, here we go, Broncos country. Let's ride.
That's right.
Who did that?
Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, before we move on, I did see something interesting. We're talking about guaranteed contracts, right?
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting. If game one they go out there, Deshaun Watson gets DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, he's cleared to play again.
I know. I'm
Deshaun
saying before
Watson
that.
or
Yeah,
Lamar?
Oh.
Lamar. Or DeMar. Sorry, DeMar. You said Lamar. DeMar Hamlin. So if you get DeMar Hamlin and he actually misses the rest of the time, right?
If who?
Deshaun,
Okay.
like career done.
Yep.
Okay.
The Browns would have to pay him $230 million right then, and then it would be $55 million to field a team
Well, it sucks to suck.
without a quarterback.
Yeah.
Or the next quarterback that'd be playing for you is playing under that $55 million that you have left. That's it.
And you guys forget
For the next salary cap season is what I'm saying. It'd be
Lamar holds all the keys to that castle. You don't invest in it without investing in it first.
Oh, yeah, there's some private masseuse action going on.
Lamar.
Yeah, I'm stating that you built that entire offense around him, and then you tell him he's not worth the money.
So you're pro Lamar is what you're saying.
I'm pro whatever the hell that guy wants. Fuck the Ravens.
Whoa.
Well, I don't like that nobody's
He lost
allowed to be
Allen.
interested.
He lost Allen Robinson today, so he's a little feeling in his
I lost Allen Robinson.
Yes, you did.
Steelers.
I didn't
Hold
lose.
on.
I
Hold
didn't
on.
lose anything.
That dude's fucking like moral compass or wherever he is as a person has got to be shot. He was traded with a 7th round pick for a 7th round pick, and the Rams are still going to pay $10 million of his salary.
But he's got to pay taxes on
so
that.
there's an awesome line if you guys ever watched it, the one with the Billy Bean, Oakland A's. I can't remember what that's called. Moneyball. There you go. There's an awesome line in that where David Justice and Billy Bean are talking. David Justice taking cuts in the cage. He's like, "You paid me for this, blah blah blah," and kind of like acting all swaggish, right? He's like 37 years old at this point when this movie is being made, or not being made, but like when it took place, right? And he's like, "Oh, I think he was like 20 million." He's like, "Maybe it's 10 million." Whatever the amount is, he's like, "Well, no, I'm not paying you that. Actually, the Yankees are paying $7 million for you not to play with them."
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's how much they think of you.
Right.
So let's not bullshit each other on what we want from each other. I don't want what you used to be. I want to squeeze every bit out that you still have left in you. You still want to do that. You still want to show that you still can do this at this point. So how about we stop lying, stop bullshitting each other, and you help build what I'm trying to build here. And then that's where they kind of come to an agreement. But it dawns on him. He's like, "Fuck, they're actually paying me not to play with them." So Allen Robinson,
Fuck me,
they
right?
didn't even get anything really in return. 7 for 7, and they're also paying $10 million of them for not to be on there, which I think is. Which they don't have any salary.
And they kept Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
And Ben Skoranek.
I actually thought it was kind of ridiculous. I'm like, unless there's something in the locker room, like why wouldn't you at least take another shot? You're already paying the man anyway. Why wouldn't you take another shot with the healthy guys and all that? Maybe some camaraderie will happen. Didn't Stafford wasn't in camp all year last year, right?
Nope.
Exactly. So maybe continuity over there. Unless there's something else going on, I was a little surprised when that one came.
He started throwing 10 days before the season started.
Right, which isn't enough to.
No.
Right.
But
So I was a little surprised by that. I don't know what the move was there, but Allen Robinson be like, "What the fuck,
dude? Can you? That kind of pumps me. I'm happy about it.
Oh my god,
I was so jacked for him last year.
Blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah, you were hoping to see.
we've heard that before, right?
Gotcha.
Hoping to see primetime Robinson.
Dude, I was. I was
potential.
all. Well, I mean, how do you not succeed when you have, you have 3 DBs going one way?
Because the ball only went to one receiver.
That's racist.
Well, you said that. I didn't say that. I just said he went to one receiver.
Yeah.
No,
say
I
which
know.
one.
I know, but if you follow ESPN,
We don't. We follow 3 Gig Sports.
Yeah.
yeah, who's ESPN?
Who's Espen?
Who's espionaging?
Let's keep her moving. Let's talk a little Draymond. So, first off, Warriors are down 0-2 now to the hot Sacramento Kings, right?
Hot second.
And they look like they have absolutely no fear. They're going to be dangerous. Legitimately could be in the finals, right?
So the Warriors had gone 27 straight playoff series without trailing 2-0. Longest in NBA history.
Not now.
Not now.
Not now.
Not now.
No way.
Yeah, you be quiet over there.
They getting wore down by.
But then the big old and Curry kind of downplayed this later, which I'll get to, but kind of the momentum shift kind of looked like, I should say, the play between Draymond Green and Sabonis. I can't remember his first name or how to say his first name, I guess.
Sabonis.
Where he's going down. He's going down hard, Sabonis is. And to me, it looks like it is. There's many different angles. You can say what you want, and we'll each get to our own part. You have an interesting part to it. It looks like he's trying to protect his head on the fall. It really does. They're in a group of people, like a mass amount of people right there. And he goes down. It looks like he's protecting his head. Draymond's leg is in between where his arm is going like this. Looks like he's another angle looks like he's grabbing his leg. Either way, Draymond rips his leg out and then stomps on his chest. And I'm going to be very clear, stomps, because there's a lot of he steps on. No. He clearly stomps on his chest. There's no doubt there, right? I mean, you don't need an angle for that one.
Yeah.
And then proceeds on the court. Well, eventually after they look at it, they throw him out of the game. Sabonis gets nothing. Okay?
Didn't he get teed up for grabbing his ankle? I think he got teed up.
Did he get teed up? But he still got to stay in the game?
Yeah.
Okay. They went to the press conference. Obviously, Klay Thompson went to his defense, Draymond's, and he's like, I'm not condoning what Draymond did, but how is it okay that, this bullshit? He's turning to run. He's at full speed. I'm like, well, first off, he wasn't at full speed.
Right.
Nowhere near full speed. He just, had turned around right then. And then Steph's like, you know what? That wasn't he's like, it's kind of, in so many words, I'm paraphrasing. He's like, that's bullshit. But that wasn't a momentum kill. I mean, of course, we want him in. We want Draymond in for everything he brings to the team. But we actually went on a little bit of a run right after that. So we can't blame that on that. He's like, but naturally, we'd want him on the court for the closing. What did you see? What do you believe?
Yeah, to me, it looked like Golden State got the rebound, and everybody was about to start running. It was about to be another fast break deal, and Golden State is so dangerous because they end up getting the open three somehow every fucking time, right? But it seemed to me like Sabonis was trying to slow him down a little bit, because that's his guy, and he was about to get down court. So he definitely grabbed his ankle. I don't agree with the whole look like he was protecting his head from that angle. I still, no matter how I looked at it, he was grabbing his ankle, which is fucked up. So now let's say he was about to be at full speed. He steps with that other foot, tries to run, and he falls flat on his face on the court because he's getting his ankle grabbed, right? Like, that's dangerous as shit.
Yeah.
The stomp, it's a little much. I think it seems worse because it's Draymond and he does that shit, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, from what I saw, he definitely grabbed his ankle and was trying to slow him down, and that's why I think he was doing it. It was this guy, and he was getting beat up too. He's probably a little frustration with it.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Rio?
Yeah, I don't like the stomp. Like, whatever, players fall down, this and that, but he could have definitely avoided them, I think. You come down and, I mean, you can hop over, but it looked pretty planted right in the middle. Like, how to plant right in the middle of his chest, and not miss or barely get him, and then still stay upright, that big man. I think it was 100% legit. Draymond did it on purpose. And, yeah.
Sabonis sold the shit out of that, though, by the way. He acted like he got shot. He was on the floor for a long time crying.
He was. That being said, that is probably the most fragile part of your body, and to get stomped on. Like, have you seen people with bruised sternums? Like, how painful that?
They did X-rays and stuff at the end, and that was wrong. So
have you seen that recently? Before you say that?
Yeah, they did X-rays after the game, and nothing happened. Like, there's no broken anything.
Okay.
So this is my opinion, but he sold the shit out of that after it happened.
Well, of course you're going to, but
yeah,
I'm pro Draymond.
Actually, he should have just got up and punched Draymond in the face.
There you go, fight it out like hockey.
Like, honestly, because it was a dirty play. Both of them were dirty plays. Let's say he did grab the ankle. Of course, it's a dirty play.
Right.
You could have done way more damage stomping on his chest than he can of you falling flat on your face. Come on. Right.
Don't give a shit.
You have arms to catch yourself. A stomp on the chest.
Don't give a shit.
You could have broken everything up in there. You really can.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to break. You're actually supposed to break bones when you're giving CPR compressions. It's not that hard to do. So a big old athlete stomping his foot down on the chest.
Oh yeah,
if I'm jumping up and we're getting after it.
So what would you have done, though, if you were Draymond and somebody, let's assume he grabbed it on purpose, right? Somebody grabs your ankle like that when you're about to take off.
I don't know if I'd stomp on the chest, but yes, there'd be retribution.
You try to sell it you try to sell it the other way.
Yeah.
You trip.
Or go the other way, yeah. Like,
you trip. That's why I'm saying it was definitely he did it on purpose, because a big man like that, he's definitely going down if somebody actually grabs his ankle, right? You don't land perfectly square in the middle of somebody's midsection.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing that either. I think he definitely stomped on his chest. Yeah. I don't think it was as hard as he said.
I think though you sell it. If I'm Draymond, you have to sell it the other way. That way the refs go, shit, he grabbed him. Okay, you know, here we go.
Okay,
yeah.
You know,
pro Draymond.
Because why do that in a game? You're down 1-0 to a young team that's fighting hard, that's giving you a heck of a run. You got to know better. As a player, as a veteran player who's been to the finals, you've got to know better.
His timing for this kind of shit is terrible.
Terrible. Now you're down 2-0.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmer, a little bit ago you mentioned you were hedging your bets on something, right? With the guaranteed contract versus not. This is where I get to hedge my bets because I said Golden State, but I also said Sacramento is going to surprise some people. So I'm in a win-win situation here.
What are you saying?
We're good to
Pro
go.
Draymond.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with what Draymond did, and I think he should have done a little bit harder.
Should have been done a little bit harder.
Just take him out.
I bet I know he's faking everything. Sabonis is there or whatever, or Sabonis, whatever his name is. Don't like Draymond Green. I think he's a dirty player, but sometimes you get what you get. Shouldn't have tried to trip me. You wouldn't have got jumped on the chest. If they couldn't call it both ways, then that's BS on that part too.
Yeah.
Because if anything, I honestly believe he should have done harder. Should have made sure Sabonis couldn't come back in.
No.
If you're getting ejected anyways, might as well make it worth it.
No.
Take your guy out. Take the guy that you're supposed to be on out with you.
He doesn't know if he's getting ejected at that point. And then how important is the game that you're getting paid millions in dollars for? How important is the game and
a
the
playoff
playoffs
game,
too?
not just a regular season.
Where you're
game.
all towards the end, tailing towards the end of your careers too. By the way, isn't like you have very many years of high level basketball.
Or together with a team like that.
So all three of his dirty plays have happened in the playoffs.
Absolutely, and it's cost him.
Okay.
It literally cost him a championship.
Yeah.
Right? The one where he got suspended. I believe the Warriors could have probably won that series. When he got suspended
3-1, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then he nut taps fucking LeBron and he misses the next game. Cavs win that game. Momentum had got shifted at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So don't do that.
That's where the veteran
you
thing
gotta
comes in.
learn.
You
He
gotta
has
be.
something missing right here that he doesn't stop and think for like 2 seconds.
Privileged life.
What?
I'm saying like people like when they're more privileged. Like I'm sure he was really great at sports all throughout high school, college, all that. Didn't get disciplined. He was just like kids that aren't disciplined turn out to be little assholes like that.
He is being reevaluated today. Go under additional testing today. So the X-rays came back negative on the sternum and the lungs. Appears he avoided injury, and he has additional testing today, or should have had it today at some point. That's what they got.
Got to give a lot of credit to Mike Brown, though. That young team. And I know Golden State's not the same team as they were last year, but being able to do what they're doing to Golden State right now is awesome. It seems like they should win this in 5, right?
Dude, I watched some of their – I don't know if you guys seen some of their mashups or whatever, like their – right at the end of the season, like their interviews and stuff at press conferences, and their top end players, and then Mike Brown. Mike Brown, I don't know if I've ever heard him swear. He's like, oh, I don't want to slaughter what he said, but basically, he said something like, why the fuck not us, or something like that. He's like, We're doing this. We don't give a shit about any, or maybe that's what it was. We don't give a shit about anyone's feelings. We don't care about anything like that. We are here. We are going to take care of business. And his players have the same mentality. They don't give a shit. De'Aaron Fox, he was in a different interview. He gives no shits. He's not afraid of this moment at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead, have your moment right now.
2 Kentucky boys.
There you go. Trying to set you up.
Taking the wear and tear on the old men.
Yeah, and he is.
It's cool to see Mike Brown, though, succeeding without LeBron. Like, he's kind of held his – or everybody has held his hat on what LeBron helped him do and that, and he's fucking killing it with this team.
Yeah.
They're able to show their – like, Fox is – man, this is what Jason Tatum did, last year, a couple years ago in the playoffs? Everybody's like, fuck, he's a superstar. This is exactly what Fox is doing, man. This is fucking cool to see.
But they both are. Fox and Monk together.
Malik,
like
yep.
It's crazy that he's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Sometimes that fits a role perfect, though. Like, a lot of people, like, disrespect that. Like, it's a bad thing that you're not starting in the NBA.
Like the Thunder, James Harden, like, he could have started. He could have slid right in that lineup when Durant and everybody was there. But coming off the bench as a 6th man was perfect for that team.
Perfect. You get to roll. You're basically rolling your own team. Like, when you're going back out, when you're going out there, you're the man for those how many ever minutes. And then you're still going to blend with the starters anyway, just because you weren't announced in the starting lineup.
Right.
Well,
That's key to a great team, is the guys who embrace the roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Ginobili, dude.
You guys remember the commercial with the bunny, right? And he's just keep going and going and going. That's them two, just going up and down the court. They never stop sprinting. They're always back, and it's just like you could see it just pissing the Warriors off. Like, let us jog.
Ish. So I got to touch on one thing that was awesome. You guys seen J.R. Smith's, he was on a podcast talking about this. He's like, Dellavedova was dead.
Yeah, he almost died. Yeah.
Almost died after he was guarding Curry in one of the playoffs, one of the finals, right? He's like, Dellavedova put everything he had into running because he'd have to run around nonstop. He's like, Dellavedova basically died. Like, when we get to the locker room and there's nothing left in this man. He's like, I gained the most respect for him. He of course, Curry's still going to do Curry, but he's like on him, but at the end, he's dead. Did you see what Malik Monk said?
Yeah.
Malik Monk said, JR was 100% correct. He's like, and I feel for Delly. He's like, I'm almost dead. And I only guarded him the first quarter and the last bit of the fourth. he's like, I'm feeling it because that's what Steph does. Just nonstop running. You're just chasing him. He can make it from anywhere. So
right.
You never really have a
never really have
break.
him, right?
Yeah.
I remember that he face guarded him all throughout that series.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
No, that guy was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going home, bro. I have to go to work. You got to ride with them. Hurry up before they leave you.
Thanks for sitting in, Quentin.
Thanks for sitting in, buddy. My son. Yeah, let's keep rolling, though. I don't know which one you guys want to touch on first. I have two. I think they're both two pretty good. You want to keep talking the NBA injuries? Because we had some big ones.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's roll with the injuries then. Because we have Giannis, who, what was his? His was back. I think it was something to do with his back, right? Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's doubtful for game 2. Mm-hmm. You brought up the other two. Who was the other one that got injured?
Well, so Ja might miss again.
Ja and then Tyler Hero, right?
Broke his hand.
Broke his hand.
He's probably done.
Yeah.
Which one affects the most? Yeah, affects their team the most.
Giannis.
True.
For sure.
Not Ja.
It's Giannis or Ja. I mean,
Cleveland up 79-58 in the third.
Can you say that a little louder?
Cleveland up 79-58 in the third quarter.
Yeah, New York
with a minute left in the
New York
third.
Knicks may not have another lead in this series outside of 2-0 to start a game.
Celtics did take care of business against the Hawks, 119-106. Clippers, Suns play again tonight.
The Clippers winning that game was a surprise, too.
Speaking of which, I was shocked.
What?
The Lakers and the Grizzlies, that's a really long gap in between game 1 and 2.
Wednesday.
They don't play until tomorrow.
Yeah.
They played on Friday.
Sunday.
Was it Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3. Well, so
still
2 days
usually it's
off in
Tuesday.
between, especially when it's in the same town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That
which one though?
That was my biggest FanDuel cash out bet ever.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. 95 to win 570.
Not bad.
Oh, I took the Los Angeles Clippers when they were down. I got them at plus 500. And that was the most exciting I've ever been watching a basketball game. Because the cash out's rolling up to 480. I'm like, just push it. Just push it. I was like, my mama didn't raise a pussy.
That's what you were doing with the at the damn slot machines too. Just cash out, you dummy.
Well, it's easier on that. There's no whistles and fancy lights. But.
Yeah, Ja might be the bigger one just because if they lose, they might be done, period. Next two might be gone in L.A. But Giannis is a big deal, too. Back means it could last throughout. So what's it going to mean if they do get through this series? So both big injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, that Giannis, the back definitely could linger. And like we said, the East, man, is just brutal. It's always physical. It's, physical, especially where he plays. That one could be definitely a big one for sure.
What?
Oh my God!
You want me to state which one I think is going to win it?
No.
Okay, good. Because
yeah. So it's a combo. I think Morant. It hurts more right now.
Oh, that's what we're.
It hurts more right now.
Hero
for this series because Hero shouldn't go understated
too.
because they can't score.
Yeah.
They're actually one of the better defensive teams in the league. They have a real tough time scoring. Now you just took one of your scorers out. So that's actually bigger than what we think.
Because we need a hero, baby, and he's a KY boy.
Right, but nobody thinks they're winning the title.
Nobody thinks they're winning the championship. That's the reason why I separate that.
Right.
If I thought they had a 100% legit shot, I would actually say Hero. You know what I'm saying?
I want to call their coach out for this. If we're real Navy SEALs, we play with a broke hand.
Oh, jeez. Playing with a cast?
Oh, which hand? If
it doesn't matter. We Navy SEALs.
What?
You don't remember that?
No.
He gave his speech. He's like, yeah, I train these guys like the Navy SEALs.
Spoelstra?
Yeah, the little dude for the Heat.
Yeah, supposed
Yeah,
to.
you should look it up. It's funny as shit.
Okay.
And
All
then-
right.
Okay, that
all
fits
right,
in. I get
all
it.
right.
Yeah.
I
And,
get it.
and now you're telling me Hero can't play. Well, you tell me a Navy SEAL that's going to back down with a broken hand.
he's just tapping out. Broke my hand, boss.
You'll be fine. Get out there, Tyler.
I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Navy SEAL.
Okay. I'll look it up. I'm curious. I didn't know he actually said something like that because that's ridiculous. That is, isn't that? That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Short term is John Morant, especially against one of the hottest teams in the league, in the Lakers. Right? That's factual. They're one of the hottest teams since basically the trade. So that one in the short term, but I'm with you guys in the long term. I think the Bucks could be fine for this series, especially like I just said, they lost Hero also. Doesn't linger, especially with the back, and what he does special. He isn't a 3-point artist. He's not anything like that. He attacks the rim. He's a rebounder. He's a blocker. Obviously, he can score, but he does it with his athleticism, right? Getting to the cup and doing kind of what he wants.
Where's his brother?
I think all of them are there, aren't they? I think
so.
they have them all signed now
Yeah.
with the Bucks. They just don't play.
Mhm.
All of them.
Or they're in the G
Or
League.
in the G League
Yeah.
affiliate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 2 brothers that play as well.
Mm.
One was signed with the Mavs for a while.
Yeah, Lakers
just-
had one too. For
Yeah.
a little
Oh,
bit.
yep.
Well, we got that one out of the way. The more interesting one is, and I want you guys' thoughts for sure on this. The Texans are listening to trade offers for the number 2 pick.
Aren't they always?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you shouldn't listen whenever, because it depends on what you're offering. If you're trying to send the house,
Yeah.
like if you're trying to do like what the Saints did to get Ricky Williams, we're listening. If you're doing what the Vikings did to get Cowboys running back Hurts Walker, you're listening for sure, right? But what are your thoughts when you heard that?
Yeah, I did hear this, and my first thought was, okay, so there's 4 quarterbacks going to go in top 10, right? And it's like, maybe they have equal value on, one of those and someone else. And so maybe they're just trying to get what the Panthers gave. They sold the house, and they're like, okay, maybe we can slide back. Maybe Indy will get desperate, come up and just sell the house to us, right? And maybe that's kind of what they're going. I don't know. Maybe to throw some people off. It's really interesting. Maybe that's what they're doing. It just doesn't make sense. Why? I don't know. I think it's clear cut 1 and 2 for me, anyways. We know quarterbacks have to go 1 and 2, right? I mean, it's pretty clear cut. You need a signal caller there. David Mill project didn't work for Houston, so you're drafting the quarterback they are. That could be the only explanation, that you got a couple of those guys really graded on your board, dead even, and so you're like, okay, well, maybe we can slide back to, because the Cardinals aren't taking one, right, at 3?
Right.
So Cardinals aren't taking a quarterback.
Shouldn't
so
be.
if you slide, if Indy will sell you the house to go up to 2, and you just sit at 4 and take one of the other 2 guys that you think are graded evenly, then whatever, right? As a organization, win.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be my only thinking right there, is that they have 2 guys throughout this whole draft process and everything that they just have graded equally.
So they got to be careful though, because anyone coming up is obviously coming for a quarterback,
Right.
You're
obviously.
You're obviously trying to do that. You're trying to get.
If you're going to 2, you're basically what you are.
You're getting ahead of the Indianapolis Colts is what you're
Right.
trying to do, so you can have your pick of the second quarterback taken, right?
Right.
You got to be careful on what that team is, though, because once you start touching the Lions, first off, the Seahawks are after the Colts. You have the Colts, Seahawks. You have the Lions who claim that they're down with Jared Goff. Right. But depending on which quarterback, maybe they've seen one that they absolutely love, and it's like balls right there, right? And then you have the Raiders who don't have one.
They're not drafting a quarterback.
And then Atlanta, they sold on Ritter.
Right. There's a couple
We got to
teams.
they got to be careful. That's the reason why I thought it was interesting, because who are you really setting this up to trade with? Just the Colts, so you can move back 2 spots and gain some more capital, maybe. But if you go much further than that, you're going to lose out on one.
Right.
You don't, because you don't want to. This is the draft class that everybody was waiting for. This is the one that everyone piled up picks, right?
I mean, I think if they're anything, they're trying to put pressure on the Colts.
To
Yes.
make
to
it look like
try
it's
to
open.
Right. Try to sell, so the Colts go, shit, we're going to sell the house to you to get our number, go to the number 2 pick. You're at 4. You can still draft a quarterback plus, a lot of something else,
Yeah, I think the Colts is the big deal, right? Because their GM did say they will do whatever it takes to get their quarterback. So if you're the Texans and you're like, you got a running back over there, we're a big fan, or, some other talent and maybe some more picks and things, we could be in a better spot even if you get a decent quarterback. You know what I mean? I don't know if the divisional thing makes it weird. They'd have to give them a lot, probably, a lot more than another team would. But so I get where you're going on that. I'm starting to think a little more that direction. Initially, I was like, they must not be sold on who they're thinking is going to go number 2, right? Or who would be second best, whether it's Bryce or not. But God, it is interesting though. I'm here for it.
There's still a couple trades to happen other than swapping of picks though. I mean, you're still looking. You got to see what people are going to get for DeAndre. I'm not saying he's going to give you a first rounder, but you got to see what people are willing to give for that. You're going to have a couple running backs available right now. And all the teams within the top 5 there, I mean, other than Arizona, I suppose.
Arizona, I'm calling it. I think they moved this pick. Everybody wants out. Your roster is horrible. I think you're only looking at teams that want quarterbacks, and you're going, hey, here you go, sell me the house, and we'll trade back to whatever it is, 7, 8, 9, acquire a couple more picks because everybody wants out, right? Buda Baker just requested a trade. DeAndre wants out. You have a horrible roster.
So the only thing that would make sense is for who'd Las Vegas get?
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G for the quarterback.
Okay, so that's not happening unless they take a younger one.
That could absolutely happen.
So that's what I was gonna say is that I could see them going up to 3 to take their quarterback to sit behind Jimmy G.
I mean, the Falcons. I mean, you got teams that could definitely.
I don't think the Falcons will make a move this year. I think they'll give it up this year and go for one more year like the 49ers did. 49ers did 2 years. I mean, technically, this will be their second year without Matt Stafford, so that would make sense. Or, Matt Ryan.
I mean, I'm not even putting out Seattle could definitely. You don't want to hinge your hopes on Geno Smith as now, after 1 year, revitalize his career,
Yeah.
But
so, Seattle could even do it. I mean, I just think anything is possible. I think the Cardinals will move this pick because they need to acquire talent.
I agree with you, though. I agree with them moving it.
So, I mean, I know that we talk about the Texans, and I think they're just kind of ruffling feathers to see what the Colts will do, but I think the pick that ultimately moves, I do think number 3 will move.
And
Man, what if somebody makes a trade for number 3, so they've got a little more leverage to say, hey, Houston, we've got the number 3, just let us have 2, and we'll give you you don't have to give up nearly as much, right? Somebody moves up to get 3 and then uses that to swap to get 2.
That one's interesting.
Because then they're still ahead of Indy. They can still pick the quarterback they want, but they got some more pieces,
Yeah.
Or are we going to see a team do my move this year, Danny?
What move's that?
You take who they want, and you don't even want them, and then you let them come to you. I think once you hold the player they want, it means more than the pick itself.
Depends on what you're valuing, what you're trying to go for.
Yeah.
So if you're going only for picks, which I'm more of a proven player type of guy. Of course, I want as many first rounders as possible because that's usually the top end, or a bunch of second rounders because you almost get first round talent for a second round pay, right? But what you're saying, like I'm down for that, but that's you wanting to win also. So it isn't just draft picks you'd be getting. If you're drafting the player that they want and you know they want, you're actually doing that not just for picks, because otherwise you just make it for the picks right out of the gate. It'd be all this for that, right? You actually want one of their players. Also, you want something else other than picks. Otherwise that'd be done right then.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can get more picks out of a theoretical when you don't have a physical player right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? When you don't physically have the player in front of you.
When you're just looking at picks. Yeah.
Right. When you're just looking at picks, it's a lot easier to wheel and deal. I would think. I mean, I could be wrong. Obviously have never been to GM. But
I'm just
I think it'd be easier for me and Chris. I'm sitting there trying to get picks off of you, and you want this pick really bad. I think it'd be easier to get those picks off of him if it's just a pick.
Right.
Now, if I have a player well,
that
hold
you
on.
just drafted.
Right, that you
Yeah,
just drafted.
right.
Then Chris, like, no, obviously you wanted him. They're like, this is what the line is right here. This is what I was willing to give you. Action back.
Also, I think the number would definitely go up because that shows that you want him.
Yeah.
So then the number goes, I think, astronomically. up.
So then unless, and this is where I agree, unless you're going for targeting a player that they have and you want him.
That's already on his roster.
Yeah,
That's already on their roster.
But can you look at it this way, though? I don't want to go too far into it, but I'm stating if you're already willing to offer me something and it's not a guarantee that he's going to fall to that spot, and I take him anyways. He did fall to that spot. You didn't offer me enough at the time.
They wouldn't offer you the player. I mean, they would trade before the picks. Say Bijan falls out of the top 10, right? And the Cowboys are like, shit, we want him, right? So they hit up whoever's at number 11. They don't go, hey, draft Bijan and we'll trade. They won't do that. They'll go.
That's the NBA.
Right.
That's the NBA all day. The NFL doesn't do that.
NFL won't do that.
Unless
Cowboys will trade for pick 11 and then take it.
Unless they wanted, you know what? We'll draft your player. We're going to draft your player because we want so many picks. Maybe it's even less picks, but we want Michael Gallup too. Because we need a receiver, and he's not overly paid either. You know, that's kind of – the NFL works different than the NBA. You're talking NBA. NBA does that all the time.
That's what – because Luka Doncic and Trae Young.
Yeah,
right? That's exactly what happened.
They weren't actually – and technically they weren't – the NBA does it different in the sense that you're not trading players, even if they're drafted. You're trading the rights to.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's why it's a little different, NBA versus NFL.
Yeah.
You're trading after you draft the player, it's the rights to the player. Not to because that player doesn't have to sign with you. I mean, technically the NFL doesn't have to do that either, but it's a little bit different. Is what I'm saying. That's the reason why in the NBA they do that quite often. They draft players and then they ship the rights down the road. Yep. You know, that's kind of what it goes to. But I'm 1,000% on board. Cardinals definitely. Why wouldn't they? If they believe Kyler's the guy, you need as many pieces as possible. What are you gonna do at number 3? Get an edge rusher?
They'll do some.
I mean, that's where you'd have to go, I think.
I mean, that's where
If
you'd
you
have to go if you
stayed.
stayed there. But
Yeah.
there's too many teams that want a quarterback, and they want those stab at one of those 4, right?
Right.
You own the pieces. You know the first and second one, the first 2 quarterbacks are gonna be gone. Somebody wants that 3rd and 4th one.
Yeah.
And we're talking from Seahawks to Raiders to Falcons if they're not sold on Desmond Ridder.
I think that can. I mean, all of those possibilities, man.
Whoa,
Titans,
Danny, what was that?
What?
You were going somewhere. And
Jets if they're not sold on Zach Wilson and they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they have the 13th pick. You know, making a stab at it like, hey.
Yeah, that one's a weird one because I think that has to be involved in the trade for Aaron Rodgers. I just don't think the Jets really want to give it up. I really think that's what's probably holding this deal up is that the Packers are like, hey, we want that pick. And they're like, well, no, we're not going to give a first-round pick for this guy who's maybe going to play for 2 years. Maybe going to play for 2 years.
And we don't have a guarantee that he's playing 2 years.
Exactly, right? Look at what he's done. He's I've got to go sit in a dark place and take mushrooms, right? And determine if I want to play, right? I gotta eat special vegetables and sit in the dark.
I was gonna say maybe we need to do that ourselves.
Whoa!
Wonder if I want to go to work. I need to.
I'm on the waiting list.
I do even less. Wondering if I want to go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what I'm getting at. So
Yeah.
I think that's really what the hang up is in all this is that they're trying to pry that away, and they're like, no, not.
No, we're not giving away our future for.
Right. I think what they're trying
themselves.
to. I think what they're trying to ship is one of those young receivers and some picks, but Packers want that.
Hey, how about we
pick.
send you Zach Wilson too? He
Right.
we could he could battle with Jordan Love and
Right.
you find out if you have a franchise quarterback.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think because they have a lot of young receivers, some that kind of out of their fallen out of favor with the coaches. They're loaded as in the talent where they've been taking first and
capabilities of,
seconds. I think that's what they're trying to ship, and then something else other than that first. But I think the Packers absolutely want that first round pick.
Stick your balls out there even further. Who makes the trade to go up there and grab from Arizona? Who makes that deal? We don't know about Texans. I'm not going to go with that
DeAndre?
one. Who's going up there? They're like, I want a quarterback. Who's going up there?
We just said Las Vegas. Me and Chris did.
No, I just said I could see, and I could see all those.
I could name plenty of teams that could, and you wouldn't be shocked by it. I'm asking him who does it. Who does it right now?
Who does it right now?
And you know what? You can put it for the Texans or them. It doesn't
Tennessee
matter. You don't need to
Titans.
swing it out for the Cardinals.
Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, give me a. No, I don't think Tennessee does it. Gosh, man, there's so many teams. I want to say so bad Seattle, man. I really do. I want to say
Pete Carroll won't do it.
You don't want to, right? But what better than to draft a nice young quarterback? You let Geno Smith play, see what he really does for you. You have a guy sitting and waiting. Then when the new coach comes in, you're like, here, we got you right here.
Right.
I don't think you realize how old Pete Carroll is. I don't think he has time
like
to
72.
sit back and develop another quarterback.
Right, he won't. He's done.
He won't, but he's setting it up for it.
Right.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
going to get to
Are
learn
they
on-
really a win now team?
I think
No.
I think they proved last year that they're only missing one or two pieces.
That's not correct. I
Sometimes
think
you
they
get
were.
lucky.
I think they were highly competitive and played
Matt
with a lot
Flynn.
of heart.
Matt Flynn.
right?
Matt Flynn. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's go. Great person. Great. Let's
Go.
go.
One fucking year got hoodwinked. Seattle got hoodwinked.
Yes.
Same thing happened.
Hoodwinked.
Same thing
They're
happened.
not.
Was a baller.
Not near as bad, but
Here, listen to this for 1 second. Are the Seahawks closer to
Climaxing.
rebuilding or being a Super Bowl contender, Miles?
Super Bowl contender.
That's a goddamn lie.
no, they are closer to rebuilding. The coach is about to leave. You see what you have with Geno Smith if you really hit. If he does hit,
You're
you got a tradable piece.
that whole division fell apart.
His legacy, I believe his legacy now is to see if he can get the rebuild started before he retires. Like show like if and the next guy comes in, they have some version of success, and they're like, see, he still had it even at the end of his reign. You know.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I want to say Falcons so bad. I don't know. I just think
You can't predict what they're gonna do. They've been doing weird shit all.
They have been.
offseason.
They look like they want to compete right now.
Yeah,
right?
they're trying. Yeah.
I know, and that's why I could see him definitely jumping up there. I don't know, because corner is a big time need, and they can get that where they're sitting right there. They don't have to trade up for that.
Right.
And gosh, man,
Are you sold on Ritter? Is their question. And
Right,
they said they are. They said they're willing to give him another year to see if he grows into it. He's still thinking. What do you got?
Yeah, but
who is
another
yours?
year that's not very much confidence. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's not all the
yeah,
confidence.
that isn't that much for me either. Because what did he get? 6 games last year or something like that. He didn't
Yeah,
get
Not that
even.
much.
I didn't think he got that much. But
Man, I could see Vegas doing it. The problem is McDaniels likes
yeah,
Jimmy G because they did well before, right? But it would make sense, like long term, to have somebody there. I do, man. I'm leaning towards Atlanta though.
I
Yeah.
like the fact that just look at the division. I think. I just think there's a lot
Easy,
of
Aaron
wide
Rodgers.
open. You got the Saints with what really is a quarterback option. You got the Buccaneers.
Slow down.
Okay, sorry,
'Kay.
James Winston. Right, back for another year.
Derek Carr is
Right.
great.
Oh yeah, that's right, Derek Carr. Yeah. I figured Winston was going to be your guy, but
Either one, bro.
there's 92 touchdown bullshit. But what Kyle Trask on the right now in Tampa Bay.
dead serious about that. No, not even close.
Tampa Bay's an interesting one. I could see them trying to sell the house,
That
but they're outside top 10. But man, that one
they'd
would
have
be,
to do a lot to
They
get
would have
there,
to do a
yeah.
lot of moving, and it would have to probably involve one of those receivers,
Yeah, definitely agree.
and that would be very interesting. I don't know if y'all listen to that, but
Well, he's interrupting. Well,
Tampa Bay
Tampa Bay.
trying to.
They would have to climb.
I was gonna say-
high, though, right?
They
Like,
would, and it would
why
have
more
to
than-
involve Mike Evans or Godwin.
They'd have to
but-
get Aaron Rodgers high.
I mean, think about it though. Nobody really on the roster at the quarterback position.
Right.
Who is
And
there?
they're at 19.
Who is there?
They're sitting way far back. You'd have
Baker.
to definitely ship some stuff, but yeah,
Baker Mayfield, dude.
yeah. Kyle Trask, Baker Mayfield,
That one's interesting.
but a
You-
lot of you gotta
You would most certainly hope that they would try if they did anything like that, it would definitely be Godwin that they would send, because what better for a rookie quarterback that you'd be trying to draft than to throw it to a dude that's 6'5" and can jump out of the gym, high point, everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But regardless, that one's interesting.
When is the draft? I
It's
mean,
the
I'd
27th.
say we're gonna have to get a mock going here soon.
Yep.
boys.
What's his name?
The Raiders is really hard for me not to say that they're not going to make this jump. I think Garoppolo is literally just a stopgap, and I think even he knows. I think they both know. They all know that he's like Geno Smith for
Right.
the.
You're
for the
staring up in
Seahawks.
the division.
Right, and I think they know that they want to be competitive enough. They want the offense to go. They want the pieces to meld together. But I'd be really shocked if they don't. If they're if they don't make a trade for one of those two up there, either Texans or the Cardinals. And I assume that they're going to be making a move, but I don't know. But my dark horse for that would pay. He rarely goes up. I'm not going to do that. If the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers before the draft, I could see them actually swinging up there. I think they saw enough of Zach Wilson. I think they've been trying to be nice to him and everything. Quarterback diva minds and stuff.
That would be great. That'd just fuck everything up in Green Bay too.
It would, and because they said they're done, they're moving on, right? If that isn't done before the draft, I could see the Jets saying "fuck it" because they don't. Yeah, they had a wonderful year last year, right? They played out of their mind technically, even at the disabilities of a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And then they even had some injuries, and they still played pretty damn well. But let's keep it real. Salah is still on a pretty short leash. You can have one epiphany, one rare season, and still get booted the next year because the prior season before that, right? And especially if you can't show direction. What's your direction if Zach Wilson isn't? We're gonna keep signing Joe Flacco's of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's only gonna take you so far. So I actually could see the Jets doing that, and then it also gives me a chubby because like what you just put, the Packers they'll be a disarray. He's gonna retire, whatever the scenario, and I gotta confront what the hell you just said when you made me miss what they said. Well, go ahead and say what you're saying about the damn. And
I was a little butthurt that he didn't nibble on the Seahawks winning the division. Not.
Go ahead and say why.
What's 4 teams? 4 teams divisions still, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Say it.
Why? 49ers know who their quarterback is.
So that's where I'm gonna stop you right there.
No, I know.
No. That's where I'm gonna stop you right there. They could pull an undrafted guy off the street and be better than the Seahawks right now, just in their system.
Okay,
so there's number one.
Rams are in a rebuild.
They basically did too. So
Yeah.
Rams are in a rebuild.
That's how we know what happened.
Cardinals suck.
So they'll end
the
up at
Seahawks own the Cardinals.
They'll be at 3. The Rams will be, around
we ain't
the
even
500
have
range.
people.
I think that division could actually plummet back to what we're used to seeing back.
That's what I
What
said.
was that 15 years ago?
That's what started it.
I understand that, but you said the Seahawks were close to competing for a Super Bowl.
Seahawks win that division every year. It's like that.
It's not like that because you have the Niners, which is different than what it ever used to be.
Oh, you're going that route. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
They're
Where
a
are you
team
going
in the
that route?
division.
That's the most clear count that there is.
Yeah.
No,
did Kyle Shanahan get shot? Is he dead? No, they still have all
Sean
the
McVay,
players.
he's still there.
He's still there. They still have all. You know what they needed for them to fall apart a couple years ago? They needed everybody to get hurt. Everybody got hurt that season. Everybody on defense got hurt.
So did the Rams.
They were on their 7th running back or some shit that year. They were, you know what I mean? That's what they needed to fall apart.
right, yeah, that's right.
They have that division locked up.
Kenneth
And it doesn't
Walker.
matter who it's going to be. By the way, it does look like your guys' guy, Purdy. There's an outside shot. He doesn't play at all next year.
They already said
Oh,
that.
really?
Outside shot because evidently it wasn't a restructure. It wasn't a rebuild or however you want to put it in his elbow. I have to look up
Full UCL repair?
Yeah, well, they like a doctor
Tommy
can go
John.
in. All they did was, I don't know how the hell they worded it. They fixed it, but they didn't restructure. They didn't they didn't rebuild it. They didn't
Let's try to get him back on the field
to
sooner.
get him back on. So it's actually the other way. He could miss
That's dirty.
all of next season.
And that's fine.
Still.
That's fine.
So then you're gonna roll.
You're rolling Trey Young.
Yep, Trey Lance.
Or Trey Lance,
Yep,
sorry.
Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. My
Yeah.
point is that they still get that division. In fact, this just makes it that much easier. They can start resting those players, week 15.
13.
And then they can start signing 4 quarterbacks to make sure they don't run out of one when they go to Philly where they should.
I've seen a couple things open my eyes. I could see Minnesota taking that Tennessee quarterback.
They are going to take Hooker.
Hooker.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big fan. Yep.
I could definitely see it.
I can see the Hooker one.
Hooker and blow.
Especially after the when it came out that Kirk Cousins reached out to see if they wanted to do a deal, and they were like, "Nah, we're good, fam."
No, we're good.
Yeah. Then I was
We'll
like,
just pay you your money this year.
dude, they are going to get a quarterback, and
One way or another.
one way
right?
or another. And so
And I think
that's who they're getting.
I think it's going to be that, or I still believe there's an outside shot because there are plenty of reports, and this isn't just one or two. There's plenty of reports that there was during the offseason
Please don't.
that they were talking
To the 49ers.
The Niners.
Yeah, they were.
The Niners want Kirk Cousins.
Well, okay, so let's say Trey.
Okay. I thought you were trying to say they're going to.
So that's what I'm saying. With a draft pick, like Minnesota would get a draft pick back. Doesn't matter, low end or whatever. With Trey Lance, they would send him Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, if Purdy is
so
that
either
out,
way, they're going for a younger quarterback. Is my belief, and I think they want. Then they still have Purdy. He can take his year. Kirk, you have a couple more years left in you. We have your backup right here that will take over, and we've already had a good sample size of it, right? Yeah, and inexpensive too, even cheaper than the Trey Lance. So
yeah, I'm gonna turn this back to the Houston thing real quick. Just we've been living in fantasy land talking about who. I don't think they're gonna actually trade. I think they're gonna. They have to. They have to take one of those top 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think
just
they will
for
too.
the record, okay. I don't think anybody's actually going to move up and get it. They've got to do it. Dude.
Yeah, I think the one like I said, the one that will move is 3. Houston, I think, is just trying to, which I don't even know why. Maybe
it is just that they like 2 more. They like these.
Maybe
2
they're doing a thing to mind fuck the Panthers. Like, hey, we have a similar grade on these quarterbacks, so we don't really care.
Make them
whatever.
start thinking, yeah.
Make it hard thing for the Panthers. Maybe they're just mind fucking the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, new GM, new coach, new everything. You've got to get your staple in there. You're not going to be able to get enough value for how much you're going to drop in quarterback. You know what I mean? Those top 2 are head and shoulders, right, above everybody else. So it just wouldn't be – fuck. Maybe they do it because they're Houston, but it wouldn't be smart.
If they did, it is literally – I'm with you. It's literally because the grades, right? They believe Bryce Young's gone to number 1, right?
You have the number 1 – okay.
Let's say one, either him or Stroud, but then – let's say they have the top 3 quarterbacks leveled off to, you know what, we love either one of these 3.
The same.
You know, or 4, or the 4th. It'd have to be the 4th one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the 4 guys.
No, the 3rd one. No, the 3rd one. I'm right, the 3rd one. Because who they be swapping with, I think they're doing it for Indy. Only Indy. I think they're saying that there's other people out there. Like, hey, we're shopping it. So Indy throws that up there so they climb 2 spots. When they're actually okay taking any one of the 2 remaining, like that's going back to what you're saying, but I think they have one of the 2 in mind. They have to, where I'm going with you and I agree with, they have to draft a quarterback. Stop playing around.
Yeah.
Because this is the draft that, like I said this a little bit earlier, this is the draft that everyone that needed a quarterback or was getting to the tail end of their franchise older quarterback has been licking their chops for is this draft right here.
Yeah.
This is literally the one.
Okay, so you're the Panthers. No trade backs. Who are you taking?
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
Okay.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Yeah.
I love Bryce Young. I think he had a little too many injuries for me. CJ Stroud is a beautiful passer of the ball. Yeah. He's a little bigger, stronger, stout. That's where mine is. And I like Bryce Young a lot, okay? I'm not trying to downplay. So whoever gets him, if they can keep him healthy, they're getting one hell of a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I think look at, right, numbers dropped off. He didn't look near as great, Bryce Young, after weapons started falling apart. Alabama's weapons started falling apart. I think that's where we kind of got to see, okay, even though everybody's a 4-star, 5-star, right, on the bench, like we saw Bryce Young that struggle, wasn't there, right?
With those guys.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing happened to C.J. Stroud. Guess what? He still lit it up.
He did.
Right. So
he lost his guys. He had guys going into the draft, and he did. And he still balled, with a high accuracy. He had a down game, and his down game was still fucking. I would take for the average of an Iowa quarterback throughout the whole season. Yes. We would have been undefeated for C.J. Stroud's worst game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yes,
yeah, that's right.
I think it's Stroud. I'm not as big on Levis. I'm not big on Levis at all. Richardson, like. I've been pounding in my head that too much like the Cam Newton. I'm thinking Cam Newton with him, and Cam Newton was great for about 6-7 years.
I'm thinking Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Yes.
Big
I
time.
am seeing that. Richardson, I don't know if I'd pull the card on because
he just was so inaccurate during the season.
And he had plenty of talent down there in Florida too.
He just was so inconsistent. I don't know.
Was it 56% or something?
It was horrible. And his decision making, which I know comes with. Oh, it was so bad.
I think this is actually a 2 quarterback race, and the only reason why Bryce is down there is purely because of your of concerns. He brought up one, but concerns is usually the injuries, right? I mean, I don't know how well he's going to ball out with Texans who don't really have a bunch of weapons, but Just like my kids and my wife. Battery down to what, 9, 10%?
No, ever since I deleted Facebook, dude, TikTok's taken over.
It's one thing or another, man.
Yeah, did you see that they're gonna prorate that to like where you can only watch 100 videos a day?
No, they're trying to ban it altogether. The TikTok ban. It's literally in legislation.
They touch my FICFAP, we're done.
We're done.
I'm going to the White House.
That's where we're sending it right there.
I will go in there, and I will fap all over the place.
God damn. Well, let's wrap
we
this
hope
up.
you made it
baby.
this far, but we know you're turning it off.
Hey, if we are gonna wrap up, if you guys don't mind, how about Friday we'll do it together.
Yeah.
We'll put it on here. We'll do 3 gig mock draft. We'll post it up there after we're done. We just go around the table.
Our own mock or
Just our own.
Okay.
No, like I'll do it. Like I'll put it in there. You'll make a pick. You'll make a pick. Go around the table.
How do we decide who gets the number 1 pick?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters.
No,
You
so
already know
it'll
who it
be
is.
not each our own, but we're going to go through based on, okay, you just picked him, so Miles will pick him, and then so on, right? We're not going to take same guys, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We're just going to go
Okay.
through. Cool.
Just 132. It's actually 31 because
right? They
the
lost
Miami,
a pick. Yeah,
Miami lost a
the pick.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tampering.
Tampering Holmes.
Who'd
They
they-
take that shit
With
serious.
who?
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brizzle.
And,
they actually. Oh man.
And was it the coach also, or was it just Tom Brady?
I think the coach. Yeah,
I think it was
feel
a
like
combo of both,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wasn't it for old boy that's with the Broncos?
When did this come out?
Peyton.
Though?
Right.
Like that they lost the pick.
Long time
A
ago.
long time ago, or during the season.
Well, I remember it being a thing, but
Yeah, they lost
Brian
the pick
Flores
for
did. Yeah,
That's what more people were talking about.
great
but-
time. Hey, how about one more thing?
Yep. You got
Didn't want to turn this into a debate.
Good luck.
When the Commanders got bought,
I didn't want to talk about that.
who is it? Is it Magic Johnson is part of this team that
Yeah.
bought him?
Yep.
If I had one wild,
They aren't bought yet.
well,
Basically.
it's going to be done
No.
before the draft.
Did you see the? So it is not. It's fully financed, but there's another offer worth $7 billion by. It would have been
Holy shit.
an African American, and it would be the first African American owner.
Oh.
Y'all did not see that?
No, I didn't see
So
that.
yeah, so the deal's not completely done. So that $6.05 billion, that's not legit, or it is legit. That's the offer, but there was another one
But they
recently
got
put in
outbid.
that is close to $7 million, and it would make an
Billion.
African American guy. I can't remember what his name is. The first African American owner.
Brian
in NFL.
Davis.
Yeah,
That's
in NFL
badass.
history.
Okay, now you ready for my theory? I appreciate that insight because now it stamps my theory even more.
Here we go.
Lamar could fall to the Commanders. Because if just now hear me out, in the society we live in, a black owner takes over for that and is pissed about Lamar's deal and could believe that being an issue, we'll go out there and get him and give him every bit of what he's guaranteed.
So Brian Davis hasn't disclosed who is backing his bid.
Right, I know that is weird too.
But there's indications that if it is real, the money could be coming from the Middle East, which I don't know if the NFL will let that ride.
Oh,
They
some
can
Saudi
shut
money.
those off.
Live.
Yeah.
Live.
That's what I'm reading right here. But what he's talking about is, the $7 billion. So that's clearly over the other one, which is $6.05 billion.
Yeah, we're
So,
talking a clean bill.
So it
over,
was,
yeah.
it was a clear bill. So they'd be like,
But
it's
I'm
kind of like that live, like what you're
Right.
just saying. Like, hold on, am I willing to sell?
so
my
interesting.
I'm just so what I was just stating is you start putting people that should have already been at some of these tables and in these places where they should be. I think a lot of these talks are going to cease to exist anymore. They're going to start seeing, some of these issues are going to start resolving themselves a lot better.
Yeah, it would be funny if Lamar ended up there just because who was that Schefter that did that kind of little prank there that said he was going to go to the Commanders, and then he actually does go to the Commanders. That shit would be hilarious.
That would be. Well, that make Schefter probably a cool mill. I don't know.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
like spot.
Oh,
There'd be
yeah.
all kinds of sponsors coming with even
Right.
more money.
Yeah, man.
He already makes a pretty coin, right? I think I just can't wait for it to be done with so we can start getting some leaked files.
Yeah.
Because that's coming. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for some juicy shit.
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden's going to come out with
Tampering
a
with some
bathrobe.
kind
No,
of shit. There's all
No,
kinds of
yeah,
stuff.
it isn't even the Gruden. No, he's being scorned by the field of this, and he's been nothing but a shitty ass owner his whole career. I don't know if you guys read that timeline.
Oh.
I read that timeline because
Yeah.
I was at the hospital with my mom, and we were just going. I had all the time in the world. I read I'm like, God damn, I forgot about that. It was really shitty. They sold like 10-year-old peanuts. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. From the airlines? Yeah, sold them in their stadium, and then they tried to blame it the other way. Yes, there is a long laundry list of shit, my friend.
John Gruden's being hidden from the media.
Yes, you keep going squirrel moment.
You were going there.
No, I wasn't going there. I just said I just want all the
I'm
other
done.
stuff that Dan Schneider does have. I know he has shit, and he's being scorned, and he's, you know what I'm saying, making.
So you think he's going to release some shit?
I think he's going to release some shit once the deal is finalized, all money has been moved, everything's been, you know what I'm saying?
I hope he does, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Who's going to release?
Goodell. He's going to get all. You're going to see all kinds of shit. Yeah. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
Those white billionaire meetings that they're ripping on their stogie and drinking on their cognac and shit, and the fucking.
Cognac, huh?
Whoa, you went cheap.
You went boom
cheap.
room.
Jesus.
No, I'm talking about like I'm
bro.
talking about like some real stupid.
Something expensive.
They call it whatever bourbon, whatever the fuck they're drinking. But my point is, they're sitting there just saying, there's all kinds of fucked up shit.
Oh, yeah.
There is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna find out that.
And I can't wait for it. Is my point. So that's what I'm excited for, to get this over with, and then we don't have to hear about how shitty the Commanders' facilities are anymore either, because somebody's got to pump. They know what they're buying.
Right.
They're buying a turd that they need to shine back up.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they don't do what they did in Minnesota, though. They already got to redo some shit up there.
that.
You see that?
Yeah. $100 million worth of.
Already.
At the stadium?
Fixing up stuff, yeah.
Wonder where it's at, though, because it didn't look bad any time I've been up there. So I don't know. Maybe it's a bolt missing.
No shit.
Structural. I have no idea, but that's not a good thing. That's not a good investment if you have to spend $100 million for.
Don't worry.
Right.
Every taxpayer in the state of Minnesota paid for that.
They paid for the stadium, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, they didn't pay for the whole stadium. They paid for 55%, 75%, somewhere in that ballpark.
Go talk to
It's
them
a
about the
fair
price
split.
of their tobaccos.
It's at 55 and
Their
75.
tobacco already was ridiculous.
Yeah, but
Before that.
they said the stadium added like $2 to it.
They did not. We got to get wrapping up.
I
talk
lived
about
there.
this off air.
So who's got to make sense real quick?
I do.
Yes.
So I had to take a little road trip this weekend. Don't worry, I checked every bathroom stall. The toilet paper was there. Don't worry, no crawling under. So I did. See,
Do you bring a personal roll?
Dude, I do keep some in the truck. Yeah.
Do you? More hunting than anything.
Anyways, it just boggles my brain when people are driving. Okay, this is what happened. I was driving, and the left lane is for what?
Fast people.
Passing. Right? People that really want to break the law, really want to speed, right? So 3 times I encountered cars who I'm flying doing like 90, right? And speed limit's like 75, let's say. And they're like, okay, they see me hauling ass, right? There's like 200 yards, and I'm the only one in the left lane just hauling. Speed limit 75. They're like, I'm going to pass this semi doing 76 because that's what I should do. Shit, 3 times that shit happens to me. 3 times. Then I realized what state I was in and seeing the license plate and said, oh, fucking makes sense. Shitty fucking Oklahoma drivers.
Jeez.
Learn how to drive. I don't know who the fuck is handing out driver's license over there. No,
they're such caring,
horrible.
loving people
Yeah.
that they're looking
Fuck
out
them.
for your
Yeah,
benefit.
it makes me want to fucking run them off
Dude,
the road so
they're
they get
fucking-
murdered.
They're sightseeing, man.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful state.
Oh, sightseeing the shithole that they live in. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah.
Their
Horrible.
trees are this
It was
tall
fucking
because
horrible.
they mowed them all down.
Horrible. Makes me want to T-bone you.
Yeah. Broken
Anyways,
arrows,
I'm like,
broken
scoot the
bow.
fuck over, all right? We're breaking the law in the left lane, all right?
Hey.
Pissed me off. Take 10 minutes to pass. Like, then I was like, oh, you're from Oklahoma. Okay. Somebody else is probably driving you.
I was trying to. Where did I think it was in Florida when we were driving
Might as well
last
put
year.
a handicap sticker on them.
The best thing is states that don't allow semis to drive in the passing lanes. They have to stay right. That's the fucking best because they can't go so fast, right?
Yep.
So they don't even let them. If you're in the left lane, I don't know, you get pulled over or whatever.
Yeah.
So
God, man, it just pissed me off. And then I'd drive up and I'd slow down so I could get a good look at them, see if they look as stupid as they drive, right? So I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like looking to see if they look as dumb as they drive. So, anyways, words of wisdom: if you're driving, be courteous. Left lane is for people who actually want to break the law and speed. Otherwise, stay your ass in the right lane.
Right.
Also, don't be from fucking shitty Oklahoma. Where's
What
the
are we
wisdom?
talking
Where's the wisdom? I got some hate. All right.
Let him walk off. Let him walk off with that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to battle you.
Red
Fuck
River.
you, Oklahoma.
Red River.
Red River, baby. I know. It's easy to hate on the beauty down there in Oklahoma. It's up there with New Mexico.
Dude,
It's
you know what I
fucking
did?
beautiful.
No, it is not.
You know what I did see? What I thought was pretty funny. It was like within two billboards back to back within 50 yards of each other. First one was like it was a sign for a sex store, right? Nudie store, whatever. 50 yards. I shit you not. 50 yards away. Do you need Jesus in your life? I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. That was funny as fuck. Then I got pissed later because of driving, but I laughed pretty hard at that.
Well placed billboards. That's fucking awesome.
Waste billboards.
Hell
Somebody
yeah.
pissed some Mormons off or something.
Getting them back. Well, let's go ahead and wrap her up, boys. So, you beautiful people out there, if you happen to
Except
find
if you're
us
from Oklahoma.
or
No,
even if
please
you're
do
from
wrap 'em
Oklahoma,
up.
I don't give a shit.
You're not beautiful if you're
Please
from
do.
Oklahoma, though.
Please get all you
do.
Please get all your humans spayed and neutered.
Oh,
Jesus. I didn't even say that.
That went dark.
yeah,
real
Miles.
dark.
Miles.
It's an episode of South Park in here. Jesus Christ. But if you happen to find us on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share, the whole nine. We really appreciate it. Where's the podcast available, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. YouTube.
Let's go, baby. And we love to tell a good story, as you guys just heard with the whole make sure you pass in the goddamn left lane. Do not stay there if you're not going fast enough. But we like to hear yours. We'll tell your story if you'd like. But go ahead and slide on in.
Slide on into our DMs. Tell us that story. We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. You know we do as well. We can omit names. Anything else you need we can leave out. But tell us that funny story, and we'll get it out to everyone.
Yeah.
100%. Miles, are we going to tell names? Are we going to leave names in? What do you think?
Oh, we're gonna say everything, every bit. Not. I got one thing before we close this.
Say, don't show Miles this, and we'll keep names.
Yeah, we'll hide it away.
Don't do that.
What's your last thing, Miles?
Meet me at the White House when they get rid of FICFAP.
Oh, man.
You
There we
can touch
go.
TikTok.
Shit's about to riot. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Geek Sports.
We out. I've been writing, I love it.